Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. I am DSP, and I welcome you to the Level 1 Podcast. Today is Tuesday, the 16th of May, 2023, and things are green. Again. You may have noticed that things were very, very green this week on the streams, even though I haven't really used this color scheme really since, like, the beginning of Hogwarts Legacy, 3+ months ago. So you might say, why are things green? Well, because you guys voted overnight on a poll that was posted on the community tab of this channel for one of 3 games to see what would be played on today's stream. And the choices were as follows: more Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, more Star Wars Jedi Survivor, or the continuation of my second ever Elden Ring run, which is the Glintstone Magic Run. And the votes are in. Overwhelming amount of support for Zelda. I believe Zelda had something like 45%, maybe even 47% of the vote. Star Wars clocked in around maybe 25 to 30% of the vote. And Elden Ring was way under there. Now, I'm not surprised. We've got 2 games that I'm doing new playthroughs of versus Elden Ring, which I've already played before. And we really are in no rush to jump back into, right? Even though I'm excited to. I've been doing really well in that run. I mean, we just melted a freaking Lich Dragon with a Kamehameha. Pretty damn cool, if I do say so myself. But we are going to focus on new playthroughs first, because that seems to be what you guys want, and that's your priority. So, via your votes today, the main gameplay stream is more Zelda, and that's fine. If you remember yesterday, we made pretty good progress heading northwest from the main hub of the game. And we had done some exploration. We had unlocked new story elements. We had done optional dungeons. We had gotten new weapons. We were doing a ton of stuff. And then finally, by the end of the stream, we had just arrived at another, one of those big drawings. I don't even think they've said what they are yet. But there's these drawings on the map, on the landscape. And in each drawing, there's a tier, hence Tears of the Kingdom. And each tier is revealing more of the plot. So we actually had arrived at one, and we didn't really have enough time to explore it because I had run out of time on the stream. Why are you kneading my leg? Jasper, why are you kneading my leg? He's kneading my leg. Jasper, it's... No. You're not going to knead my legs. Sorry. You're going to get on the floor. Oh, my goodness. He's very hyper today. As you guys know, I've been telling you this all week. We are having a heat wave here in Washington, okay? Every day, for the last 2-3 days, we've had record high temperatures, meaning the temps have never been this high before. I think the last record was like the 1970s, and we actually beat the record over the weekend. The heat continues today. It's not as hot as it was all weekend, but at the same time, I need to have all the air conditioners pumping, and whenever all the air conditioners are pumping, Jasper Kitty gets very, very excited because he gets what's called the zoomies, and the zoomies is when a cat, for whatever reason, almost goes a little feral and starts getting so excited that their eyes get real wide, and they go, ooh, jumpy like this, and they start darting around the house, and he's been doing that for a little bit. I think it's whenever you get like a lot of cool blowing air that actually like catches him and he gets so excited. So Yeah, he's been like that all morning, and I think he's a little bit overexcited this morning, but it's fine. He's allowed to be in here today for Zelda, so if he wants to chill with us, he can, or we may or may not be seeing him more today, depending on what he feels like doing. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm excited for more Zelda today. I don't know what we'll find, quite frankly. Will we continue on with more story? Well, if we're already at one of the new drawings, so if we find the tier right away, we'll have more story, and we're going to continue to head north-northwest towards this Rito region, which I guess is where it's supposed to be the first major dungeon of the game, is the Rito dungeon or whatever. And so we will be investigating and seeing what we find. You know, this open world adventure is interesting in that regard. Right now, I'm about 10 hours into the game. And last session yesterday, we played for 3 hours of open world exploration. And even though we actually did a lot of new stuff, it still kind of felt like we didn't make much progress. Because that's the nature of a game like this that has this much content, is that you kind of feel like everything's a drop in a bucket, right? Like, that really is the best analogy. Every day, I'm playing 3 hours. Wow, I did all this stuff. Yeah, and you created like 0.5% progress in the game. It's like, geez. There's just too much, man. So, we'll see. I'm going to continue on. I'm excited for open world exploration and fun. You guys have been digging the playthrough so far. I'm definitely down for more today. All right? So, thank you for voting. I believe... I'm going to check the final vote. I actually want to see how many people voted in this poll overnight. Because as of yesterday, we had between 600-700. And I'm curious how many more people actually jumped on and made their voice known overnight. Wow, 939. So, just under 24 hours, we had almost 1,000 people chime in on what they wanted. The final vote was 48% for Zelda, 30% for Star Wars, 22% for Elden Ring. Okay? So, now since we're talking about this, we might as well go into the schedule for the rest of the week so you guys know what to expect each stream. Alright, so, today, indeed, it will be Zelda Tears of the Kingdom here on the first stream. And, we'll see, you know, what happens, how far we get. Interactive, chill, fun with the stream. Should be a good time. Tonight's late stream, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, will be Oblivion, the conclusion of the Shivering Isles DLC. At this point, I want to say we've played the Shivering Isles DLC for roughly 10 hours. Let's see. 1, 2... 3, 4... Hold on. I think it's about 10 hours. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, it's been 10 hours. We've actually played the Shivering Isles DLC for exactly 10 hours of gameplay. So tonight, what we have left, basically we have... Jasper running off. Tonight we have... the conclusion, which means we have to recharge Sheogorath's staff with another kind of busy work side mission. And then once we do that, all we have left is whatever the final battle is going to be against Jigalag or whatever, who I guess also is Sheogorath. Figure that one out. And that's the end of the DLC. So I don't foresee that taking 2 hours. So we'll do that, and then we're going to head back into the main game. And then, moving forward with this playthrough, we will basically be focusing on the main story. And I know some people are like, oh, but there's all this side content here and there. It's like, yeah, but you got to understand something. This playthrough is now around 80 hours long. If you subtract Shivering Isles, it's still about 70 hours long. We did every single major guild. We did Thieves Guild, Assassin/Dark Brotherhood Guild, Fighters Guild, Mages Guild, right? We actually did other important side quests and things along the way. And it's been a great time, don't get me wrong. But at this point, we have so much going on with the new games that it really does feel like we need to focus in on new stuff. You know, Oblivion was great for this slower part of the year. The whole first half of the year was very slow for new releases. Like, on one hand, I could probably count the notable ones. Dead Space Remake, Hogwarts Legacy, Resident Evil 4 Remake, and now, finally, this month, Zelda, right? So, with only, like, 4 major games, there was a lot of downtime. But now, we're heading into a new month of June where there's going to be a new Street Fighter, there's going to be Diablo 4, there's going to be Final Fantasy 16, among many other giant high-profile new releases, and all the gaming events are happening this month. Summer Games Fest, Xbox event, Starfield event, Sony event, probably a Nintendo event, and with all those coming, you know we're going to have lots and lots of stuff to do. Really, we're not going to have time for big downtime playthroughs anymore. I'm not saying those won't come back if and when things slow down, later this year. But we need to be focusing on the new content. So once we wrap up the main story of Oblivion, that will now be a finished playthrough, and we will now focus in on all the stuff we're already doing and juggling that and using night streams for that so we can make better progress, okay? So, tonight, Shivering Isles concludes, and if we have time to jump back to the main story, we will. If we don't, well, next time we play, next week, it'll be focusing on finishing up the game, which will probably be 2 or 3 more streams, and then we'll finish Oblivion, okay? All right, very good. Now, tomorrow, I'm off from streaming, all right? I hope you all have a safe and fun Wednesday. If you get caught up on all the content I've been doing this week, that would be amazing. Give it a look. Enjoy. And when I come back on Thursday, we're going to be playing the game that now has hit the second place voting, which was Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So that'll be the main gameplay stream when we return on Thursday. I'm excited because now we're on new planets. We're currently in the middle of a space base called the Shattered Moon, which has been fun, except it's running very poorly. It's cool because we just got a new stance that's like a double-handed broadsword lightsaber. I know that sounds weird, but yeah, it's a ginormously long, heavy lightsaber that uses, it's like a broadsword in any other game. And, you know, the plot's getting more interesting, so I'm excited for more Star Wars on Thursday. I just hope that the game stays good. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that it doesn't get to the point where the performance is really holding us back. Because honestly, with the glitches and the problems with the frame rate, it's very, very frustrating. But I am excited to keep playing it, and I hope that you'll join me on Thursday for that. And then Thursday night will be the continuation of Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster, which we actually played a good amount of last night. And guys, if you were not here for the late stream last night, but you're interested in the Final Fantasy V playthrough, you missed some very, very heavy stuff. Some very, very challenging gameplay, and then a huge, huge story development. So if you weren't here last night, get caught up for Thursday night stream because that, Thursday night stream. Because that was some major heavy stuff, and you don't want to come back and be like, well, what's going on? Everything's different. You want to get caught up, okay? Then on Friday, we will continue on with Elden Ring. We just finished up Fia's questline by beating not only her servants or guards or whatever you want to say, but also Lich Dragon Fortisax, all right? So now we'll probably continue on with other optional post-game, or optional side game content, meaning we'll probably go down to like the Astal River, down into Noxtella, try to do that. Once that's wrapped up, then we'll probably move past the Imperial City, move further into the northeastern part of the map, although I do believe I have to go back and get the medallion pieces in order to get to that other lift so we can get to the Hallig Tree eventually. But we are starting to head into the final third and home stretch of the Elden Ring Glintstone Run playthrough as well, so that'll continue on Friday. Friday night will be more Oblivion, okay? Saturday is my usual DSP versus the Internet React show over on DSP Reacts, my sister channel. That's youtube.com/@DSPReacts. Every week I watch clips from all over the internet that the members of that channel nominate, and this week will be no exception. Although this week, I posted up the nominations thread at a different time than I usually would on Sunday, and I think a different group of people got to nominate stuff, so we might actually see some new stuff, or new people have opportunity, excuse me, to get their clips watched, as opposed to all being the same people every week. So that's kind of exciting. I'm curious to see how it'll be a little different. And then, Saturday night, likely more Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster. And then Sunday is a big special event, which I'm actually getting more and more excited for the closer we're getting to it, all right? For those who don't know, this coming Sunday is my marathon event, DSP's Fight and Feast, right here on DSP Gaming. All day long on Saturday, May 21st, we will be celebrating the history of Street Fighter. It's going to be an exciting event because we're going to go down memory lane playing classic Street Fighter games from the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. You guys will be voting live in the chat to determine what games I play. You'll also be picking what characters I play in them. So we're probably going to do several runs. I would think at least 3, if not more, because it depends on how long they take. But basically, I'll be doing arcade mode on the hardest AI difficulty, which can be very daunting because these games tend to cheat on the hardest difficulty. You'll vote for the characters, and it'll be very exciting. Likely we'll play a version of Street Fighter 2, a version of Street Fighter 3, and a version of Street Fighter Alpha per your choices, okay? And then, you know, depending on time permitting, we might even do even more. Now, in addition to that, there will be tier maker events during that event. where we're going to be ranking things of Street Fighter, whether it's the Street Fighter games against each other. Maybe instead we'll do overall fighting game franchises and rank those against each other. Maybe we'll rank actual fighters in Street Fighter against each other. I don't know, but it's going to be fighting game related. We'll kind of brainstorm on the fly, and what I will do is later this week I'll start looking up some ideas. Maybe we'll get like 5 ideas that you guys can vote on live during the show to determine what we'll do. So there's going to be at least 1 to 2 tier maker rankings. In addition to that, my wife is going to be making Street Fighter recipes out of the Street Fighter cookbook. In fact, tonight, she's going to select the recipes that she wants to make. She's going to probably make around 3. And what I will do during the marathon is at certain points say, hey, let's do a Street Fighter taste test. And I'm going to pull up the cookbook. I'm going to go through a recipe in detail, showing you the lore behind this recipe. Usually every recipe is tied to a specific Street Fighter character and has a story behind it. Show you the recipe and then actually do a live taste test of whatever it is that recipe was for and let you know if it's any good. So we'll do that for at least 3 different foods, okay? Now, in addition to all of that, you guys have also expressed your desire to see me do a fantasy battle royale in WWE 2K. I haven't done one of these since my birthday, and so people would like to see me do fighting games. So I'm going to be picking characters from the Street Fighter universe, the Mortal Kombat universe, and the Tekken universe to fight each other in a battle royale. Why? Because all 3 games actually are getting new releases this year. So that's kind of neat to pit the fighting game franchises against each other in a battle of supremacy in WWE 2K. So that's going to be fun as well. And likely I'll be ordering some food for a full meal at some point as well. So it's going to be a very jam-packed, fun event on May 21st. I hope you guys will join me. Oh, by the way, I do have a special surprise in store for you on that event as well. All right? Guys, please remember, on my podcast, I try to get through all the important talking points first. Then we do shout-outs, then we do Q&A. Because people are tagging me in the chat, asking me questions. Like, I get it, but I got to get through my talking points. But there was one pertinent question. Someone said they just want to clarify. This event, the Fight and Feast, this Sunday, the 21st, will all be on DSPGaming. Yes, in regards to the live stream. No, in regards to after the fact. Allow me to explain. I have 2 channels. This channel, DSPGaming, is for 2 things. My podcast and gameplay. That's it. My sister channel, DSP Reacts, is for anything else. Vlogging style content, React style content. Makes sense to split it up so that way each channel has a focus, correct? So, what will be on this channel after the live stream? All of the runs in Classic Street Fighter, how many ever there are. I don't know how many we'll do, probably at least 3. And the WWE Battle Royale. So those will all be on this channel, okay? The taste tests of Street Fighter cookbook items, as well as the tier maker rankings, will be over on DSP Reacts, okay? So I'm splitting it purposefully, and this is good because this will make content for both channels for the week. It's a good way to have variety of content and not have it, all be on one place, and now one channel's so inundated with too many videos and no one watches them. Instead, you split it up. See? So that should be fun. I'm really excited for Sunday. I'm actually getting more pumped the closer we get, because I know it's going to be a special, fun event, and I hope you guys will join me for it, okay? So anyway, that's this Sunday. Now, after Sunday, essentially the rest of this month is going to be a focus on trying to get as far into and finishing up as many games as I can, including Zelda, Star Wars, Elden Ring, and Final Fantasy V. Once Oblivion is finished, whenever that happens, one of the daytime streams will now be pushed into a night slot, and we'll have constant progress in that as well. If you look at the games I'm currently playing, alright, likely by the end of this month, I could probably finish Final Fantasy V and probably Elden Ring, alright? I'm not so sure about Star Wars, because I don't know exactly how long the game is. You guys would know better than me. And, as much as I'm liking it, I'm curious how many people will want to see me do a full playthrough of it. I'm still liking it, so I'll keep going. But if interest wanes and people are like, man, we got to make choices on what to continue, especially as we're heading into June, I'm wondering what's going to get the cut. I'm thinking Zelda, even if it ends up not being a main focus stream, Zelda could still succeed as a late-night chill stream because of its open-world nature, leading to a lot of opportunity for interaction and fun. You see what I'm saying? As opposed to a game where you have to be like hyper-focused on it and it can't really interact that much. So I guess we'll see what happens. But I'm definitely thinking with Elden Ring, like I said, what's left? We've got Astal River, and Noxtella, right? That's really it for major side content right now. Then we head into the northeastern part of the map, which is the last third of the game. We go through there. There's like one major side content left, if you remember, coming up, which is the underground blood city, I believe it's called. I can't remember exactly what it's called, the Blood Prison City or whatever. And then we've got the Halley Tree, and then it's the end of the game. So there's not that much technically left in Elden Ring, but it's still time consuming. Some of this stuff is longer and more challenging. So if we do focus in on Elden Ring and do it maybe 1 or 2 major streams a week, then maybe I'll actually beat the game by the end of the month. But perhaps I should also have it as night streams as well, once Oblivion's done. You know, Jasper, I told you, kneading my leg. What do you... He's like a water weenie. Look at him. A furry water weenie. He's being very silly. You're a silly guy, man. He really wants attention today. I'm sorry, I can't give you attention the whole podcast, buddy. You know how this works. You know how this works, but he's still jealous. He's so jealous. Anytime you give anything else attention but him, he's so jealous. A water weenie. A water weenie is one of those things. It's like a balloon, but it's full of water instead of air, and you squeeze it, and it goes back and forth. It's almost impossible to hold because it's like flopping all over the place. You don't know what a water weenie is? Come on. Anyway, excuse me. So, yes, that's a water weenie, exactly. People are like, oh, I didn't know that. They have those at Hot Topic, do they? I wouldn't know that. They have those at Hot Topic in the mall, huh? Oh, that's interesting. Anyway, no, Jasper, come on, relax. If you want to jump on the chair, jump on the side. So anyway, yeah, that's going to basically be the rest of the month. Now, if we have time, like let's say by some miracle we actually finish up multiple games, would I consider playing a game like Lord of the Rings Gollum? Yeah, I would. But honestly, I think our best course of action is focusing on what we're playing right now, making progress in it, having chill fun, and then getting ready for Street Fighter on June 2nd. June 2nd is going to be a huge day. You know, I'm going to be playing the offline mode, the online mode, trying out all these new characters, messing around with this game. The game looks gorgeous. I'm so excited for Street Fighter 6. I really am. I just hope that it holds up. You know, Street Fighter 5, at first on paper looked good, but once people got their hands on it and started playing for a couple of weeks, we all realized how bad it really was. It was a super laggy game that had tons of problems. So you gotta hope Street Fighter 6 is going to do better at launch. It looks like everything they've done is leaning towards them doing a much better job, and it's going to be a great game, and it might revive Street Fighter, right? I'm very excited if that's the case. If Street Fighter hits huge mainstream popularity again like Street Fighter 4 did, I would be very pleased. But I don't know if that's going to happen. All right, we're going to have to see. Jasper is now laying on my lap. He stuck his leg out and is crossed over casually over my leg. Jasper kitty, what do you think you're doing? What did I just tell you 3 times? I said you can't be on my lap. Oh my goodness. Please relax. Lay on the floor or jump on the chair. Anyway. Alright. So, I'm excited for this month. The rest of this month should be great progress in all the games we're playing. A great marathon this coming Sunday. Leading in for hype for Street Fighter 6. And of course, the big event. Street Fighter 6 launch should be great. So, good stuff. Okay? Outside of all of that. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. It is true. The streak continues. We have now had 10 straight streams where I have hit my support goals here on DSPGaming. It's been unprecedented. It's been absolutely out of control. All right? Yes, it is very much due in part, and most of that part, I would say, to Jinx, who has been here tipping tons every day. All right? Now, the funny part is, I think we should address the elephant in the room before we even talk about moving forward. All right? Someone like Jinx comes by. Now, Jinx says, hey, I'm a longtime supporter. I've watched your content for a long time. And I've always been a fan. And I've decided that I can now support and I want to get the streak going again. So I'm going to come and I'm going to support you. Right? And I don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Right? And Jinx has been coming by. And first, Jinx is gifting a ton of memberships. As well as super chats. And then also tips. And now every day, Jinx, every stream has been tipping. and allowing us to hit the goal. Now, some days, the entire tips goal has been Jinx, and other days, it's been a lot of people contributing, and then Jinx basically makes up the balance, and then we hit the goal every day, all right? So this is now 10 straight streams this has happened. The detractors are going absolutely crazy over it, to the point where, you know, I ignore them all, but they're, like, going out of their way to try to contact me. I'm getting emails. People are trying to contact other people to get to me. Oh, first of all, aren't you aware that Jinx is a sock account? Aren't you aware that Jinx is really a secret detractor? Jinx is working with Secret Limited. Jinx is working with Keemstar. Jinx is actually financed by Keemstar. I'm hearing all this stuff. Now, you have to understand something. Just because I hear it, and sometimes I joke about it on stream, doesn't mean I believe it, all right? It's funny because then someone else contacted me, and they're like, you're crazy. You're talking about all this stuff on your streams. That's just crazy talk. That's the point I'm making. Like, that's the crazy point that I'm trying to make with you guys, all right? And that this stuff is nuts, right? I mean, seriously, in what world is there any evidence of any of this, all right? None. Zero. There's no evidence of any of this. Now, here's the thing. I understand why people are skeptical. Jinx, since you're here, because Jinx is in the chat, by the way, we have to address the elephant in the room. Jinx, you want to know why people are skeptical? Because you might not realize this. Over the years, I've had some people who've come by who are big supporters who then turned out to basically be scumbags, all right? And I'm not saying that's you in any way, shape, or form. But for example, we had this one guy. Everyone still talks about him to this day. King Tutankhamun, or whatever the hell his name was. So it was like 3 or 4 summers ago, I want to say. Like summer of 2019 or something like this. I don't even remember when it was, all right? And he shows up. And essentially, he's being super duper supportive of the stream. Now, again, just similar to you, Jinx, I never heard of the guy. I don't know who he is, all right? He shows up out of nowhere, and all of a sudden he goes, oh, I'm going to drop like a giant sub bomb on your Twitch channel. So he would be dropping like 100 subs. And people are like, holy shit, like, what is this? Then all of a sudden he's dropping cheer, 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 cheer. And he's dropping so many cheers that the pop-ups wouldn't stop. It was like pop-up, 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 pop-up. There were streams with just constant pop-ups. They wouldn't even end because there was so much of this, okay? Then he starts tipping, and he starts tipping over the top. I mean, I'm not kidding. Thousands upon thousands of dollars, okay? So this guy's obviously loaded, and no one knows who he is. And everyone starts talking about him and making every stream about him, all right? What ends up happening is he's around for a couple of weeks, and all of a sudden, after doing this on and off for like 2 weeks, all of a sudden his demeanor changes. Now he starts getting demanding. Now he starts saying things to me like, hey, well, since I contributed, you should play Street Fighter V tonight because that's what I want to see. And I'm like, now, wait a minute. This is not how contributions work. If you want to contribute to my content and support the streams and support what I'm doing, thank you. Really, thank you. But the whole way it's supposed to work is I'm making content for free. You like the content, and if you enjoy it and you want to see it continue, you support it. It's not, oh, I'm buying content with my support. I'm buying you to play certain games or whatever. So what ended up happening was, after a couple of streams of that, and me basically saying, nah, I'm not going to keep changing what I want to play, he basically started making rude comments and jokes that were detractor comments. And within about a week, all of a sudden, I get this weird email from him that's like, oh, so now I know how you really are, and, you know, I hate you now, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't even know what he's talking about. Like, I wasn't really, like, directly talking with this guy. He just kind of lost his mind and flipped. All of a sudden, I get a chargeback for every tip this guy ever gave me. So this was like thousands upon thousands of dollars that hits me with chargebacks. I fought them all, and I won them all, all right? So I ended up keeping all the money, but it took me months of fighting with PayPal, going back and forth, showing evidence that this guy had contributed, what he was saying in my chats and stuff. And basically, after going back and forth, I won all of those, okay? But that's just one case, all right? There's been other cases. Let me give you another one, all right? At one point, and again, this was still when I was on Twitch, there was someone who was showing up and tipping every day. And no one knew who they were because they kept showing up with different names and different accounts, but they were always showing up with giant tips. So everyone was like, who could this be or whatever? So come to find out, about a month passes of these big tips coming in, and they all get charged back. But it's a little different from the Tutankhamun situation, okay? In this situation, this person, get this, had gone on the black market and had purchased dozens upon dozens of stolen credit card numbers. And they were going around, not just me, because this was happening to other streamers as well at the time. They were going around to streamers, tipping them a ton of money, just to have those all get charged back later through fraud. You see? So here I am thinking, here's all this income coming in, and the next thing I know, within like 2-3 weeks, all of it gets charged back and taken away from me because it was actually fraudulent transactions. Now, the difference here is that there's no way to dispute those. All you can do is show the evidence of what happened, and if it's proven to be real fraud, like real credit card fraud, then, you know, essentially that money's going to get returned. There's nothing you can do about it. When there's actual real credit card fraud being performed, there's real no defense against it, all right? Now, it was happening so often because it happened not once, not twice. This was happening for like 3-4 months in a row. I had to start instituting changes to my streams. I had to put in protections so that people couldn't do duplicate tips. I had to put in protections so that I would check tips to see if they were verified PayPal accounts and stuff. And there was a whole meme going on for a while, the verified tip meme. And it was me, I had an emote with me with a magnifying glass with the PayPal logo and shit like that. All right? So, excuse me. Basically, you know, I've been through the ringer with this stuff. All right? I've definitely been through this before. So, Jinx, I just want you to understand. This is nothing personal against you. You're going to have people who are going to come in. They're going to be skeptical when someone who no one really knows who you are, which is good. That's a very good thing that no one knows who you are. Don't give anyone hints. If you're someone who's been around before, someone who maybe people know, don't give anyone any indications of who you are. Don't give any, you know, oh, I live here. Don't do that. Stay as anonymous as you possibly can. Trust me. This is the best course of action for you, okay? And, you know, thank you for your contributions. I've been talking with Jinx all week about this in chat, and he claims they're all legitimate, and he actually is having fun kind of joking about the detractor shit that people are saying about him. Like I said, first, oh, well, Jinx is definitely only iced coffee. Only iced coffee, who hasn't been around for years. I mean, yes, only iced coffee used to be a big contributor. Then for a while, they were a moderator, and then they were demodded, and I haven't really had constant interaction or any kind of discussion with only iced coffee in about 2 years, since I came to YouTube full-time, basically. I haven't really seen the guy, right? Every once in a while, he comes, he renews his membership, and that's about it, right? So, you know, that's so ridiculous. Oh, it's got to be one guy because obviously you only have one supporter. So it's always been the one supporter. Then it was, oh, it's not only Iced Coffee, it's Planet Jeff, another guy who years ago used to support me in a big way, who, again, we haven't seen on streams in years. But it must be him secretly behind the scenes. That's what I'm being told now. Then it's, oh no, it's not only Iced Coffee and it's not Planet Jeff, it's a secret detractor. And we talk with Jinx every day on a Discord chat, and we plot out your downfall and all these tricks and traps that we've laid out to set you up and shut you down, Darkside Phil. We cannot wait for your downfall. I'm not kidding. This is the shit that people say all over the internet. All right? It's wild nonsense. Okay? Now, obviously, yes, can I be honest? I hope you appreciate me being honest. I'm a little skeptical of someone who I don't know who they are coming in here all week and dropping contributions like this. Because this isn't like, oh, here's a $20 contribution. This is like, here's a $100 tip or more. And that's crazy, right? That's over the top. That is absolutely high-ass levels of generosity, okay? And I understand a lot of people would be skeptical of that. Yeah, even me. In some part, I am definitely skeptical too, all right? So I just want to say and clear in the air here, I don't think that there's any situation, unless we knew who it was, like let's say it was a chat regular, someone who's been here for years and years, and all of a sudden they say, hey, I came into some money and I want to help you out, and they start tipping a lot. Then maybe there would be like, okay, no actual question that this is legit. Is there some question that Jinx's tips are legit? Of course there is. I mean, why wouldn't there be? This is coming out of nowhere, right? At the same time, if you look at evidence, Jinx has also gifted a bunch of memberships to the channel this week and also did some super chats earlier this week. By the way, those are non-refundable. So if this really was some evil plot, right, then why would they have also contributed in other ways? It would be one thing if they had come in and just did tips, right? At the same time, it's not just tips. There's other contributions that have come in that make it seem way more reasonable and viable that this is just a big supporter coming out of nowhere and wants to help, okay? And by the way, so 10 straight streams where we have hit the funding goal, we've had a hat and a vest. We haven't done that. I couldn't even tell you when last time we did that. Was it 2020 with the vest streak, perhaps? It probably was, right? So that's absolutely crazy. And I want to say, obviously, first of all, thank you to Jinx, who's been a major, major, major reason why. But there have been other people this week as well. And we should also give credit where credit is due. The regulars who show up and contribute in any way every day, as well as some people who came and did big tips and things along the way because they said, hey, I want to contribute and keep the streak going, and it shouldn't just be about Jinx, okay? And here's the one other thing. It's hard for me to dictate what's allowed and what's not in the chat because let's be honest here. Yes, Jinx is contributing a lot and people want to talk about it. A lot of people are talking about it from a positive way, and a lot of people are talking about it in a dramatic way, right? Is it real or not? Will there be the rug pulled out from under Darkside Phil in a week or two? I would hope not. Okay, really, honestly, I would hope not. We're all going through this now. We see what's going on. So, we got to hope that, Jinx, I give you the benefit of the doubt. You haven't done anything negative whatsoever in my eyes in the chat or anything. You've been a great addition to the streams. You're watching every stream. You're literally on every stream, right, this week. So, all I can say is so far, it looks good. And, and I'm really, really, really appreciative. Understand why is there so much drama around it? Because my detractors hate to see me successful. They absolutely positively hate it. They wish nothing but me to somehow get, hurt in various ways. And the fact that I've actually had a week where we've had unprecedented levels of support is driving them freaking nuts. All right? So that's why you're seeing the drama you're seeing here. Will it go away? Doubtful. Doubtful. As long as we have big contributors, the drama always continues. But as long as you are protecting your identity, then hopefully it won't be a big deal. So please do your best, Jinx, to protect your identity and everyone else. All I can say is this. I can't tell everyone, hey, don't talk about support. I can't do that. But what I will say is this. It's not cool to harass people. And when I see people coming in to this stream and literally here's what they say. Oh, will we hit the vest streak today? Do you think that the support will continue? What about Jinx? Is he coming? Is Jinx going to drop a member bomb? Is Jinx going to do tip? Is Jinx going to do that? You're gone. Because that's what my streams are all about. We're doing a segment now to address the elephant in the room from all week. We're getting it out of the way, right? But that's not what my streams are about. You want to casually bring it up every once in a while? I mean, I'm not going to harp on you for doing that. But literally, when you come into the chat and all you're talking about is this, that's my job. I am the streamer. I'm the one running the business, not you. It's not your place to come in and be asking what levels of support we're going to get today. And is Jinx going to drop a tip today? What the fuck is it your concern? It's not. So mind your own business and stop trying to act like your business is mine. This would be the same as someone walking into an Italian restaurant. Gee, I wonder how much the restaurant's going to make today. Come on, everyone. Come buy the high dollar wine and food. Everyone get in this restaurant. And the owner walks up. He's like, who the fuck are you? Like, why are you doing this? This is my place. Get the fuck out. What are you, an asshole? Right? It's kind of the same thing. So let's relax with the nonsense. Okay? Seriously. Relax with the nonsense. And let's just have a good time. Hey, this is great. The positivity has been amazing this week. The support has been amazing. I know that you guys have absolutely enjoyed having hats and vests and everything every stream because we're hitting these levels of support, all right? Here's what I will say. We're hitting giant amounts of tips, which is absolutely amazing, right? If you guys wanted to support the streams this week and you see we've already hit a tips goal for a stream, yeah, I would say a good way to support the stream outside of that, give it a like for engagement purposes. Consider perhaps a super chat or a membership or a gifted membership, because these are other ways to support the channel in a long-term method, you see? And that helps a lot. It really does. So if you come on the stream like, oh my God, Phil already hit his tips goal. Look, he's got a vest on and everything. Well, I was going to support the stream today. Well, then consider doing it one of the other ways if that's the case. I'm not asking for anything. I'm saying if you were already going to support, people would appreciate that. Especially with these new releases I'm playing, with the new stuff coming up within a month. People would absolutely love to have a membership and be able to use the emotes and have a nice chat crown and all of that, right? And that's part of the whole community aspect too, is it's not just about the success of me as a streamer, it's about all of us having a good time together. When you give memberships, people enjoy that. They have a good time with that for a whole month. So that's a great way to give to the entire community as a whole, rather than just to the streamer. And I appreciate those who actually do that, okay? All right. So we got through it. We addressed the elephant in the room. Now, the thing is, I'm not going to be talking about this every day. And like I just said, if I see people who the only reason they're here is to talk about that shit, they're out of here. I'm not going to put up with that because, again, it's not your business in any way, shape, or form to be talking about that stuff. It's mine. So if I choose to talk about it, yeah, I'm the streamer and I can. If I want to talk about anything, I can because I'm the streamer. You have no reason to criticize me because I decided to talk about something on my own stream. I'm the one who steers the conversation because I'm the one making the content. You understand? I just love these people who are now sitting here. Why do you talk about this for 20 minutes? Because I'm the streamer. And if I feel like it's pertinent and it's something that we should address, I will. And if you don't like that, tough shit, start your own stream. Then you get to decide what gets talked about on your stream too. It's pretty simple cause and effect. There you go. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, we've pretty much covered everything. There was a couple quick news stories that I wanted to talk about. Hold on a second here. Let's see. I'm trying to... Where did I put it? Okay, we have two news stories I'd like to talk about today. Yeah, here it is. I couldn't find them. They were buried in Jasper Pictures. I was like, where's the news stories? I know I took pictures of two news stories. Okay, news story number one. All right. Ubisoft, one of our favorite game developers and game publishers, right? Hoo-hoo. Ubisoft says they are going to be increasing the number of developers that they are assigning to the Assassin's Creed franchise by 40% to fuel its ambitious expansion. If you're not aware, Ubisoft is essentially saying that they have split their efforts of how that they're going to be developing Assassin's Creed. They want to continue to make the more open world, full exploration style Assassin's Creed games such as Odyssey and Valhalla, but at the same time, they are listening to the feedback of those who have been criticizing those games recently, saying they're not in the spirit of what Assassin's Creed originally was. Those games don't feel like Assassin's Creed 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead, they feel like these open world experiences more similar to, say, The Witcher, which is fine. People like those experiences and they're selling, but at the same time, they want classic Assassin's Creed back. So they have split their efforts. They're going to be making two lines of Assassin's Creed games. On the one hand, they're going to make more streamlined, shorter experiences that will feel like classic Assassin's Creed. In fact, we're supposed to get one later this year, and we're supposed to actually get information about it next month. I believe they were saying it will be in again, early June. You're going to get Summer Games Fest. You're going to get the Microsoft, the Sony press conferences, and somewhere along in there, we're going to get a major announcement about this big new Assassin's Creed game coming out, but it is the shorter one. It's the one that's supposed to be like 20 hours long and plays like old school Assassin's Creed. But at the same time, we're working on a bigger one, and so what they're saying is we're increasing the amount of employees to work on this franchise. Now, if you take a look overall at what Ubisoft has under their umbrella these days, outside of Assassin's Creed, they've got a mix. I mean, don't they do Just Dance? Is that them? They have one of those weird like motion music Bomani games or whatever. And that's huge. And then they've got the Splinter Cell franchise. And then they've got, well, basically, they have the whole Tom Clancy franchise, is what I should have said. Anything Tom Clancy, right, is Ubisoft. And I guess the question is, what are they doing with that recently? Because if you take a look, not much, right? I haven't really seen much or anything going on with Splinter Cell these days. I keep saying Splinter Cell. With Tom Clancy these days. So perhaps they're scaling back on the Tom Clancy stuff to focus more on Assassin's Creed. I mean, when you look at what else is under their umbrella, you've got Far Cry, but we're not aware of any big developments in Far Cry coming anytime soon. They also have Rayman, who's been dead for like a decade. So, you know, if you're actually looking at the big picture of what they're doing with their franchises, it really does feel like Assassin's Creed is the most prominent one right now, which means it makes sense that obviously that would be the one that they're going to put the most manpower into. So, makes sense. I mean, that's good news. Although it's funny because I was reading this other article, and they're like, this is Steven Totilo, I think, was the guy posting this news story on Twitter. He says, it's funny, though, because the company headcount is down from 20,700 employees to below 20,000. They laid off like 1,000 employees recently. And they're closing offices, there's layoffs, and they're having tight controls on new recruitments. So basically, they're scaling down. But for the people who they are keeping, they're having work on Assassin's Creed. So it sounds to me like they did kind of overexpand, perhaps, and now they're scaling back, and they're going to focus on the things that they feel are the true moneymakers, which Assassin's Creed, I guess they feel is. The other thing that I saw today, which is so stupid, there is a rumor, listen to this. Disney and Square Enix are working on their own version of a Smash Brothers game. It's going to supposedly be called Disney Domination. And the screen leaks that we've seen are some of the most stupid things I've ever seen. So, it's Mickey Mouse, and it's a blurry-ass Mickey Mouse. He's like blurry as shit. Alright? Here, I'm going to show it to you. A blurry-ass Mickey Mouse that looks like he's from Kingdom Hearts. He looks like he's pissed off. Okay? And in blurry text at the bottom of the screen, as if it's like his win quote, it says, Mickey Mouse says, Thanos will pay for this. What the fuck? And then there's another one. It's supposed to be like Thanos. It doesn't even look like Thanos, by the way. It looks like a really bad rendition of Thanos. And get what his win quote is. Are you ready for this? That is Peter Griffin. What a pathetic joke. Yes, it actually says, that is Peter Griffin. What a pathetic joke. Yes, because the god-level entity of Marvel, who finger-snapped half of the galaxy into non-existence, is concerned with Peter Griffin of Family Guy. Yikes. So obviously, people are looking at these leaks, and some people think that it's funny and it's real, and others are like, alright, this is obviously bullshit, right? So, you know. It's so stupid. Do I believe it? Do I not believe it? Listen, there have been a lot of attempts to make games like Smash Brothers, right? You had the Nickelodeon one that came out like the year after Smash retired. Then 2 years ago, you had Multiverses, or was it a year and a half ago? And now Multiverses is on hiatus, and they've claimed they're not even doing anything with the game until late this year or early next year. So that game is dead in the water, all right? And then you got, I'm sure they are actually making more Smash Brothers style games out there. They see the potential. They see that there's a giant community of players who like that style of game. But am I really, really believing that Disney is going to make a Smash Brothers game where Peter Griffin will be fighting Thanos? I don't know. I'm really skeptical about that one. I think this may just be a bunch of stupid bullshit that people are believing for no good reason. Okay? The whole funny part about it, too, is in this day and age, if something were to actually leak about a hot new game, do you really believe it would be a blurry screenshot? Is that what you really think it would be today? Like, maybe if it was like the early 2000s, you know what I'm saying? But today, everything leaks, it gets ripped, it gets illegally copied, copy-paste, full HD version. There's no way it would be a fucking blurry screenshot, in my opinion. If this was going to leak, it would have been like full quality shit, video and everything. So, yeah, I'm having a real hard time believing it. I think it's a bunch of bullshit. But I guess we'll find out. Alright. What happened to Multiverses? So the weirdest thing happened to Multiverses, right? So the game was out. It started, what was it, summer of last year, free to play. It got very, very popular. Tons of people jumped in. There were tournament circuits for it and everything. Like, it was very popular. And EVO last year, right? It was at EVO. And it was one of the top games at EVO. And everything. And then all of a sudden, it was announced like 2-3 months ago, they're essentially retiring the game for now. That the game was never in full release. It was always a pre-release beta state. And they decided that they were going to shelve it to work on it more. And they were going to bring it back as a new version in the future. But they didn't even disclose when that would be. Like, it could be later this year. It could be next year. So essentially, you have a whole community of people, thousands of people around the world playing this game who invested money in it. And now they're being told the game's gone. Huh? Yeah, people are pissed. They're like, dude, we invested so much time into this game. You know what I mean? and now you're just removing it. It's gone for good. Yeah, it's gone for good. We'll bring it back when we feel like it, you know. No, I think what happened was, initially the game got a lot of money and push behind it by Warner Brothers, and then they lost faith at some point. They realized that the community was dwindling for the game, and that they couldn't really maintain that level of popularity they had within the first few months of it, and Warner Brothers probably pulled the plug. They probably said, we don't want to invest any more money in it right now. Not until we're going to make sure this is a full-fledged release that we can sell for guaranteed profits. We're not going to bother with this. So probably it is still in development, just way scaled back, and they'll probably come out with a real game maybe next year. But who will care about it then is the question. Will there actually be significant support for multiverses if it comes out next year as a full-fledged retail release when it was already out for free for like 10 months, right? So I guess we'll have to see. It's basically an unprecedented thing. Never before has there been a game, early beta, public, play it, have tournaments for it, worldwide renown. By the way, now we're taking the game back. That's never happened before. So I guess we'll have to see what happens with it. Okay? All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to shout-outs. All right? Let's move on to contributions and shout-outs for them. So on the YouTube side of things, we actually start off with Bloomkit, who did 2 different super chats. The first super chat says, since I contributed, now you must play Peppa the Pig tonight on the late stream. Come on. There you go. Thank you, Bloomkit. And Bloomkit did a second super chat. Thank you for these super chats, Bloomkit. He says, ignore people starting drama. I know it's hard. You end up being this stuff to way more people. Oh, I didn't even say bring. Here's the thing, Bloomkit, all right? I know, all right, as a content creator and with the amount of idiots out there who just literally will make drama out of anything I say and do, I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. If I never had a segment addressing the support this week, and Jinx in particular doing that support, it would always be an elephant in the room. We'd always have people coming into this chat talking about it constantly, and then if I say stop, they're like, oh, well, I didn't know. How would I know? Right? Now I've addressed it. Now the topic's out there, it's done, and people know the rules, and it's that simple, right? It's like if I didn't bring it up, it would just be bad. And if I bring it up, oh, well, now people will talk about it. Well, guess what? They were talking about it anyway. All right? But here's the truth. It's all about what's on my streams and off my streams. Okay? And here's what I mean by that. We just talked about it. Correct? The topic is done. No, literally the topic is done. But now all the white noise outside my streams, all the echo chamber of drama idiots will now be talking about it. I don't care. Okay? I don't care. I don't care what any moron outside of this stream says or does about anything on this stream. At all. I don't give 2 shits about any of it. I don't. What I care about is what happens here on my stream, in my content, between us. That's it. This is my realm of internet content creation existence. You understand? This is what I can control. I can't stop any other fucking mouth-drooling idiot, any opportunistic jackass from trying to get popularity, from trying to get money, from trying to get riding my coattails and trying to turn something that I said or did into drama. I can't stop that. You understand? What I can do is ignore it because I don't give 2 fucks about losers. And anyone who does that, in my mind, is a fucking loser. They have absolutely nothing to add to this planet but drama. They can't actually support any kind of a positive community themselves without bringing down others in the process. So I don't care about those people. They can go fuck themselves. You understand, Bloomkit? So I know what you're saying. Oh, this will cause more drama. It doesn't matter what I do, it causes drama. However, if I ignore it and I don't address it, it's completely meaningless. They can stay in their own streams, their own communities, their Discord servers, their forums, their Reddits, wherever the fuck they are, and they can literally circle jerk themselves into oblivion. I don't give a fuck what they do. They don't affect me and my streams. You understand? You see? I'm just going to be here having fun, having a chill time, interacting with my audience, and we're good. None of this nonsense outside of the stream should ever affect us. And we have a strict policy. Don't bring it up on my streams. I don't care what another moron is doing. The moment someone comes, did you know that this guy is streaming you and saying this? This guy's going to do this with you? I don't give 2 flaming shits about those people. I am so far past dealing with their bullshit and drama. I don't want to get sucked into it. I have my own shit I'm dealing with in my personal life. In addition to maintaining a full-time business here, I don't have time for their kitty shits. Because they're little shitheads who cannot have any kind of a successful run on the internet without bringing down others. I'm done with it. I'm done with those kind of people. I already told you guys, I don't think anyone out there would ever give me a fair shake. So I don't care. All I care about is this. You and me having a good time on streams, our conversations, our social interactions, our fun, and the gameplay that comes there. That's it. I don't want to hear about anything else outside my stream. Literally doesn't exist to me. It's a black hole of shit. Let them fucking sit there in their turd-infested toilets forever. Let them fester. I don't give a shit about them. I'm not entertaining any of their bullshit. All right? I don't want to hear about it. I'm laying down the law. You come in here and you derail the stream talking about shit from outside the stream. You're gone. It's always been the rules. You can't bring up detractor content. Well, guess what? People have basically been doing it a lot, and I've been kind of lax. Well, that's my fault, and now it's time to lay down the law. I'm not putting up with that shit. I'm just not, okay? So please understand, that's how we're going moving forward. It's a pretty baseline rule. It's pretty simple. I don't want to hear any other shit from these idiots. I can say whatever I want on my streams as long as we just focus on what's going on my streams. I don't care about what every other moron on the planet reacts to it. Fuck them. Who the fuck cares about what they have to say? It's us, man. We're having a good time on the streams. That's all that matters. This right here, this chill experience, this fun, the fact that we can separate ourselves from the drama of real life and come to a stream and have a good social interaction and have a great positive time with games. That's what this has always been about since day one. Not all the bullshit everyone else says about it, but what we're doing together here. So fuck them, and let's focus on us. I don't give a shit what they have to say. I can address Jinx and support on a stream and not have to worry about what the fuck these morons are going to say because they are so insignificant to anything important to us. You understand? Insignificant. They don't exist. They're like a flea on your ass. You scratch it, get it off. You move on with your life. Thank you for understanding. Okay, let's move on. Oh, by the way, did I get Bloom Kid on the leaderboard? I did get Bloom Kid on the leaderboard. Good. All right. All right, so moving on. Let's see here. Our first tip of the day. Beaver Bother, you're permanently banned, and you're not coming back, so don't ask to come back. Within the first 5 minutes of me unbanning you this morning, you literally said, is the vestry continuing? Is Jinx going to be here? Is Jinx going to contribute? Fuck you. You're gone. That's literally my point, what I was making this morning. Not your place. I unbanned you because you said that you would apologize for acting stupid, and within the 5 minutes of you being here, you did it again. You're gone. Goodbye. So long. Toodles. Good riddance. Continuing on. All right. Thank you, Snow Carl, for a $1 tip. We already addressed what you were talking about. He actually had specifically brought up King Tut. Well, his name wasn't King Tut. It was Tutankhamun, right? We already addressed that today. All right. So no worries about that. Snow Carl, thank you for the first tip of the day. Good to see you. He basically said that he's been watching on demand recently. He hasn't had a chance to attend the streams, but he's been watching on demand. So, but he's here today, I guess. Cool. I received another $1 tip. Again from Snow Carl. He says he's excited for tier makers, but he wants them to be 5 to 15 minutes long. No, because my tier maker actually is meaningful and has content in it. It's not just me saying, this is here, 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 this is here. Okay, here's a video. It's actually me adding context and intelligent discussion and interaction with the stream. I do things differently because I actually put out content that's not 2 brain cells worth. It actually has meaning. So I'm not going to be doing what everyone else does because I'm not an asshole. Thank you. Okay. I received a $2 tip. It's Hotel Dude with a $2 tip. And basically he's joking about the detractor memes. He says, I like your content and I want to contribute. Oh no, am I under pignosis like people say? Yeah, I guess so. I guess anyone who likes my content, right, obviously must be completely brainwashed There's no way that anyone could possibly like content on DSP Gaming. What it is I put on those, did you ever see those glasses you put on? And it has those weird, like that weird spinning vertigo symbol on the glasses. So I put those on, I look at you like this, and all of a sudden you're all entranced. And now all of you must immediately contribute to the stream. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm sorry. Those are those dirty, underhanded tactics that I use every day. I'm very sorry about that. Like, do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Here I come. I know. Continuing on. I received a $4.20 tip from an anonymous tipper saying, I want to support your Zelda stream, so keep it up. Thank you very much to the anonymous tipper. Our first animation of the day. And I would put them on the leaderboard, but I believe another bigger tip came right after that. Yes. A $5 tip came in. So this one is actually from Jinx. Now listen to this. Jinx says the following. I understand you're being skeptical. I remember all these backstabbing bastards. You have to have some kind of a special kind of entitled child mentality to demand something of the person you're supporting. But listen, I'm an adult. I don't want to control anything. I enjoy your gameplay and streams, and I support when I can. I'm not mad at all. I would be skeptical too. I'm glad you understand, Jinx. I really am. You have to understand this is not something personal whatsoever. You know, this is me being real. I've been down this path before of people kind of just showing up out of nowhere, contributing out of nowhere. It's unexpected, and it looks very positive, and everyone's excited and celebrating and having a good time, and then it comes back and bites me in the ass. And, you know, it's to the point where, you know, what do? Do you err on the side of caution and become super paranoid and not trust anyone? Do you become too trusting? And, you know, and I kind of land somewhere in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that absolutely not everyone who comes to a stream and contributes has good intentions. At the same time, it's not my job to screen everybody. You know what I mean? But some people, you have to hope, are in it for the right reasons and are in it for the best. And you have shown absolutely no indication whatsoever this week at all of anything negative from what I've seen. You know, even at one point, you came in and you kind of criticized React content. I didn't even know it was you. I thought it was a troll. And we had a conversation behind the scenes, and, you know, we resolved that, right? So I don't see any reason to feel like anything this week from you has been fake. I'm not saying that it's not. I'm just saying, you know, there's no indication, and I'm not going to sit here and freak out about it and say, oh, no, I can't trust that. What are you going to do, right? You move forward positively in light, and I hope for the best. And we're having a public conversation about it, too. Everyone's seeing this unfold in real time. This isn't like some secret thing. Some idiots actually believe Phil, do you see? Jinx really is a secret agent that Phil has employed. And he tells him when to contribute every day. And it's like, it doesn't even make sense what they say. Because the pop-ups I do for tips are manual, right? I get things through PayPal. I shout people out. And we add them. Like, literally, there could be no tips. You understand that? Like, I could be lying about every tip on the stream. And no one ever tips me. Well, how would that benefit me exactly? Right? All it would do is make me look like I'm making an insane amount of contributions I'm not making. How does that benefit the stream exactly? Like, you know what I mean? These things these people say doesn't make any sense at all. It's just nonsense. It's complete stupidity with these things that people are saying. All right. Anyway, on top of all of that, ladies and gentlemen, there's one other tip to shout out, okay? And that tip, indeed, is a $150 tip from Jinx. Yes, Jinx has done it again. For the 11th straight stream, we have hit our goal because Jinx just did a $150 tip. Okay? So there we go. And what I would like to do is read his message, and then we're going to get all the polls going again. All right? The streak continues. So Jinx says the following. I'm super excited for more Zelda. I'm seeing good progress in the future for today. And Vest-type baby, hope you're doing well. I can't wait for the end of the DLC tonight and getting back to the main story. And he's talking about Oblivion. Excellent. Well, thank you, Jinx. I'm glad to hear that. I, too, am looking forward to get back into regular Oblivion because I'll be honest, I liked regular Oblivion more than I liked the DLC. I don't think the DLC was that good. It felt more like a grind or a very, very challenging slog. with not a lot of original stuff besides maybe some of the dialogue. I'm looking forward to get back to Oblivion and the main plot. So, all right. So with that, we're at $164 in tips. And with that, okay, it is time for some polls. Our first poll will be for a hat. What's up, Jade? Good to see you here today. Now, we wore the Los Santos cap last night, and we wore the straw hat yesterday as well. So now we got to like reset the hats and try to realize what I have and haven't worn. Give me a second. Let me look at the hats again. Oh, we're gonna do a ridiculous one. Let's do Viking, beanie. Oh, digital camo and cowboy. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Okay. All right, we're gonna do. I know what we're gonna do. There we go. And by the way, I am noticing that we have people now today who have earned their 2-year anniversary rose gold crowns in the chat. That means that they've officially been members here on DSPGaming on YouTube for 2 straight years. So congratulations to anyone who has earned these rose gold crowns. All right, that is very, very nice of you for having that level of support. And I hope you enjoy the rose gold. You'll have that for a year now. The 3-year anniversary crown is diamond, which is like a shining blue. All right, and that's the highest level right now. So, excuse me. What's funny is Snowcrawl says I mistakenly banned him and made it start over. That's not how it works. YouTube is not Twitch. YouTube allows you to continue your streak, I believe. If it doesn't, it's a glitch or something. Because with YouTube, you can not be a member, but then become a member again, and you maintain that level. It doesn't reset, you see. You could be a bronze crown, leave, renew your membership in a couple months, and then you're silver. It doesn't reset it. So, if you lost your status, that means YouTube messed up. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much. Please vote on a hat. Let's see what hat you guys vote for. In the meantime, Lucifer Soul did a super chat and says, can you rush through Tears of the Kingdom? I mean, I wouldn't even know how. I literally would not even know how to rush through the game because it's all giant open world, right? Like, I don't even know. How would you know exactly where to go and what to do unless you're using a guide, which I don't use? You know, like I said, oh, I'm just going to go southwest. So I started, and immediately everything's one-shotting me, and everyone's like, ha, you fell for the trap. You can't go southwest. Everything's too high level. And I was like, well, then it's really not truly open world, is it? I mean, if you can't really get anywhere you want to go because everything just slaps the crap out of you and kills you, then it technically isn't as open and free as it seems at first. So, it is what it is. Anyway, I received another tip here. All right, so Jinx says, I'm working today. I'll be lurking, but I can't wait to see more Zelda. All right, so hopefully we might or might not see more Jinx in the chat. But thank you so much, Jinx, for your support. I really, really, really appreciate that. Keeping the streak alive is nice. 11 straight streams. And have a good day at work. All right, I received another tip. Abdullah says he did tough it out. He went southwest, and he did succeed. Wow. Well, more power to you because I couldn't even survive a single hit by enemy, so I gave up. Nico has tipped me $2. Says, I'm glad to see that you're doing good, Phil. Thank you, Nico. I appreciate that. Yeah, and you know, it's funny again because, again, it's about perspective. Guys, I strongly urge you, if you are a positive person, if you like chill, interactive, fun content, if you enjoy my gameplay, you enjoy these streams, all you should do is focus on them. Don't listen to any of the white noise outside of there because there's constantly people out there who are trying to basically cause problems. And if you ignore the nonsense, it's very fun. Like, I'm here in my own zone here having fun with you guys. I don't pay attention to any of the shit outside. Because it's funny, you're like, gee, Phil's actually doing real well this week. Actually, I am. We've made great strides in every game that I'm playing. Seriously, we've made good progress, right? We're having fun. And at the same time, support's been outstanding. This is a really positive week. But if you listen to all the white noise bullshit, you'd think, oh my God, there's drama here, there's drama here. But it's like, but was Phil involved in any of the drama? No, I actually wasn't. It's just idiots doing shit outside of my content, trying to create drama for their own personal benefit, but I'm not involved in any of it. So why do I don't care about it. That's why people, well, isn't he going to address it? No. Why would I? Why do I care? We're having a good time. These streams are good, right? So okay. So please keep voting on the hat. We still have a little bit of time. If you guys want to chat, just tag me in the chat. We'll have a little bit of Q&A here as people are currently voting on a hat. Play Super Monkey Ball. I did. We played one. It was very challenging. Remember that one a couple years ago? Darth Revan says a cool feature. If you're at full hearts, no attack will one-shot you. But if you're missing even a quarter heart, then you're susceptible to getting one-shotted. So that is in Zelda. I did not know that. So as long as you have full hearts, you cannot instantly die. Okay, that's a good feature to know then. I'll have to try to keep my hearts filled. Thank you for that. Let's see here. I received a tip here from Shit-Stained Underwear. Have you spoken to Papa Vera recently? I remember when he used to always be a part of your Minecraft streams. No, because I haven't played Minecraft. I actually spoke with him last summer. And we got caught up a little bit during the time when I was doing the closet clean out event. He was actually interested in maybe some of the things in the closet, but outside of that, no, I haven't talked to him since last. You know, every once in a while, if there's something interesting to him, he shows up. I've seen him in streams from time to time, but no, we haven't really actively talked since, you know, in a while, because we don't really play the same kind of games, right? What do I think Xbox needs to do to repair their image? Make good games. They need to start putting out good games, and if they don't, there's nothing else they can do to redeem themselves. Their hardware is fine. Game Pass is great, but you need good games. Without good games, you have something that no one wants. It's that simple. Plans for tomorrow? Oh, a lot. Oh, my God. Tomorrow's a very busy day for us. Essentially, tomorrow is like the culmination of a lot of stuff coming together. We've got errands to run, places to shop, things to do, appointments to get to. Like, we're going to be out and about all day long tomorrow. And guess what? It's going to be like hot as shit. It's supposed to be like mid-80s. So we're going to be out doing a million things, sweating it up. There's not much we can really do about it. Having summer wet, yeah, 84 degrees all day tomorrow. Summer weather in May, which is not summer. We're over a month away from what should even be qualified as early summer. So it's going to be a busy, busy, busy one. Lots of stuff to do. Where's Jasper? He is right here on the floor. He is in the bread position, or the loaf position. Half asleep. Will I bring back Call of Duty for late night events? No, I have no interest in playing Call of Duty whatsoever. There's a new one coming out supposedly later this year. Maybe we'll check that one out. I'm not playing the current one again. Nico says, No More Heroes 2 runs smooth 60 frames in fights on original Xbox One. The game came out in late 2022. It really speaks volumes. Yeah, I mean, these games have potential to run fine on modern hardware. There's no reason why they shouldn't. It really is the game developers being forced to rush out to games by publishers that are making these games look like shit. There's no excuse, right? Look at Pokemon. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are outstanding games, but they run like shit on the Switch. But they're only on the Switch. You're telling me you couldn't get a game designed exclusively for the console it's on to run good on that console? Why? That was your one job. You didn't have to port it anywhere else. It's the game developers being forced to push out unfinished crap for profit. And it's a major problem in the game industry right now. Star Wars is our latest huge example of that. That Jedi Survivor is a great game that is completely ruined by bugs and graphical issues. And that's a joke and a sad, sad fact. Can you repair items in Tears of the Kingdom? Yes. If you have an item that's an incredibly low durability, you can combine it with another item, and that combo fixes its durability back to full. But you can only do it once, essentially. So, All right. Snow Carl, thanks for the tip. We're not talking about drama. So thanks for the... All I want to say is thanks to the dollar tip. We don't talk about nonsensical drama in this chat. There's very good reason why we don't. And I'm not wasting time on it. Thanks. There you go. Did I ever ride in a commercial van? I have no idea. I have no clue. Guts, what's going on? He says, I've been playing with the Pro Controller. It's like, I've been a week since I talked to you. Yeah, Guts, you've been busy, right? You've been playing Zelda almost all week. That's cool. I'm glad you're immersed in a great game. I'm liking the game as well. I'm also using the Pro Controller and enjoying myself. What's up, Kagome? How are you today? Good to have you here. I know Jade is around somewhere, too. I haven't seen Jade talk recently, but I know Jade's here today. I hope Jade's doing all right. Darth Evans says there's another way to repair weapons. When you get to Death Mountain, there's something called a Stone Octorok. They suck weapons in, and it'll repair it once per spawn. What the heck? Well, we're not at Death Mountain yet. That's kind of a weird way to do it now. Liza Versold did a super chat. He said, if you were a wrestler, would you rap your way to the ring? No. No, I would not. I would sing my way to the ring. I'll say, well, the dogs to find her. Got time to wait for tomorrow. To find it, to find it, to find it. I would just sing that as I come out, and everyone would be like, what the fuck is going on? This is weird shit. What is this weirdo doing? He's going to get us struck down because we don't have the rights to that song. That's what I would do. Anso Kamaru says, I'm replaying Persona 4 for the first time since its release. I started tearing up 3 seconds after hearing the title screen. Dude, absolutely. Like, I like all the soundtracks of the Persona games, but remember that Persona 4 was the first one I ever played, and sometimes I listen to, like, video game soundtrack channels on YouTube just to relax at night, and when I'm listening, it'll play, like, a song from Persona 4, and for some reason, that music resonates in my head with, like, a summer... That was a relaxing summer. That was a really awesome playthrough that we shared together. It was my first exposure to the series. It was very meaningful to me because I didn't know anything about Persona at the time, you know. And there was a couple people who had suggested personally that I try out Persona franchise. And when I tried it, I was blown away. I was like, this is like an anime that's interactive, that's fun, that has great writing, a lot of meaning, right? Like, that's a really sweet game. And that soundtrack, particularly Persona 4, for some reason, it tugs at my heartstrings. There's a few games, like Chrono Trigger, Persona 4, or 2 of them, where I hear the music, I actually start to feel emotional a bit. I don't know exactly why, but it's good stuff. Okay. Let's see here. Alright, I've had enough of this. This guy, I'm serious, he tipped me $2.22. He wants me to call him, I took a shit in my underwear. Alright, enough of this. This is disgusting. Alright? Really, it's gross. At this point, use any other name than these fucking shit-related names. Even I'm tired of it. But anyway, he says, I was watching your old Chicago trip vlogs. You, John, Rambo, and Grog were looking for classic games. I missed those days. Hey, man, it was an interesting time in my life. It's a bygone era for sure. It was a time when I was just starting off as a YouTuber, starting to get known. I had basically unlimited funds to do whatever I wanted. I could travel. I could buy anything I wanted. YouTube was certainly a different place. I wasn't fucking mass hated by idiots all over the internet for no reason. Yeah, it was definitely a different time. And, you know, I enjoyed that time. But that's it. Just like everything, it's a time, a moment in time. I did record those moments. They can be relived. It's like jumping into a time capsule, right? Because that was over 10 years ago. So it's like jumping into a time capsule of a decade past and seeing what things were like back then. And it's unique. It's fun. It's interesting to be able to do that. I'm glad I documented my last 15 years of my life. So you could go back and actually kind of go down memory lane and see how things were different. But, you know, my life today is great. I love my family life. And I would much rather be here today with this life I have here now than the life I had back then. So I'm happy with where we've ended up. Okay. Oh, yeah? Gaspavelli says he has fond memories of my Persona 4 playthrough. It was his freshman year in college. And, you know, it was a really awesome time for him as well. When was Persona 4? It was many years ago, right? Because I played Persona 4, then I played Persona 3, which went on hiatus. Then I went back and beat Persona 3. Then I did Persona 5, and then that went on hiatus, and I resumed that. So, geez, that was like, how many years ago? Persona 4. Anyone know the year I played Persona 4? I mean, geez. I don't think it was 2014. I think that's too far back. Was it 2015? So 8 years ago? Holy shit, man. Let me put it this way, all right? Since I moved to Washington State in 2014, my life has felt like a whirlwind. I mean it. Like, the problem was when I moved here, all right? I'm going to open up to you guys a little bit, all right? I don't usually do this. But when I first moved here, I had a very well set plan and intention of where my life was going to go, okay? As you know, I was in a different relationship then, and there were plans of this is what we want to do, this is what's going to happen. And I would argue within about a year of living here, all that fell apart. You know what I mean? Like, all those plans were like, well, if this isn't going to work anymore, you know, even my relationship, it was breaking apart, wasn't working anymore, all right? And so what ended up happening was, you know, I went from a very clear cut, we're going to move, we're going to do this, going to do this, going to do this, to I don't know what the hell's going to happen, right? And when that happened, when my life just kind of like blew apart the way it did around 2015 and onward, time just passed at a different pace for me. It really did. Like, I almost feel like 2014 when I moved here, up until the time when Kat moved in with me, like 2018-ish. Did those years even happen? I mean it, like, because it feels like almost like it was meaningless personal life stuff. Everything on the streams publicly was obviously great playthroughs, documented fun that we had together. But my life behind the scenes was fucked up. And so it's kind of weird because I felt like I was living like half of a life. I know that sounds really weird, but I was kind of living like half of a life. Because the best parts of my life was what was public on stream, and behind the scenes, everything was bad. All right? It was just falling apart. And by the way, this is not me pointing fingers and saying, oh, it's because my old significant other. No, it was just circumstances. It was so much stress and everything going on, things falling apart the way that they did. Because, you know, do you really think that when I planned to move out here that I thought within a year I was going to lose half of the money I was making because my channel would be destroyed by trolls because of false copyright claims? Do you really think that I thought that I was going to flip from being one of the more well-liked internet content creators to one of the most hated, right? Like, everything changed when I moved out here. And so because of that, yeah, like, everything kind of blew apart in my life. So I remember the Persona 4 playthrough clearly. I remember playing it. I remember loving it. I remember the murder mystery behind it. I remember all the times, you know, the music and all of that. But then I'm like, do I remember anything about the time frame when it happened? Do I remember? You know, I can't really remember personal shit happening in my life at that time because everything was so fucked up and stressful and not working out, you know? There was a good probably 2 years there from, I would say, around mid-2015 to essentially so about a year and a half. Mid-2015 to early 2017 when the whole relationship I had was basically broken apart and not working, and my whole life was a shambles. And I can't even, like, in my head, I can't even piece together, like, a timeline. You know what I'm saying? I could definitely tell you since Kat moved in, and now we had a life together, and things have been so much better, and we got married and everything. It's been so much better. That's what I mean. Like, I wouldn't want to go back to having that life of that time period, or even the time period before where I was single. That was chaotic, and it was very stressful, and it was very, very risky. I was doing crazy shit, like staying up all day playing games and staying up all night drinking like an asshole, eating fast food nonstop for 2.5 years, and literally not ever eating anything but fast food. Like, what the fuck was I thinking? I was doing crazy, dumb shit that I never should have done with my life during that time frame, just for the sake of pump out videos, pump out videos, pump out videos. So, when I look at the big picture of everything, right, and I look at early YouTube, I was a drunken, depressed mess. Then I became popular on YouTube, and I was a risky, stupid, irresponsible idiot. Then I moved out here, and those first 2 years were messy and stupid and bad and broken relationship and everything bad. And it wasn't until I met Kat that my life kind of solidified and stabilized and became meaningful and became a life that I want to be in for the rest of my life. You understand? Like, until I had what I have now, I never really understood that. And now that I have it, I'm like, this is where I want to be. I don't know if that makes any sense. Probably for those of you who are in a really good time in your life right now, maybe you get that. Because until, you know, a few years ago, I didn't get it either. I thought maybe my whole life would be just chaotic and tumultuous and not fun and not safe. But I feel good now. You know what I mean? Like, mentally, I feel like I'm a good spot. I just need to blot out all the bullshit. Excuse me, all the bullshit that does bring me down outside of that. You know what I'm saying? So, some people get it, some people don't. I see. Some people know what I mean, and some people don't get it. But maybe what I would say is, to those of you out there who don't get it, I hope that one day you do. Right? I hope that one day you can be in that good mindset. Because I wasn't. For most of my life, I wasn't. And it wasn't until, like I said, probably around 2018-ish, when finally I got settled into a good mindset in life. And now I feel so much better. And that's why it's funny, because now I feel like I'm a different person. I'm a more positive person. I'm a better person. I'm making better content. I'm not doing things that are harmful to those around me. Instead, we're just here to have a good time and share those times together, right? And then you get all these people who want to bring me down, who just want to, oh, what about this drama? What about this drama? What the hell does that have to do with me or my streams? Nothing. If you're just sitting here with me on my stream and we're having a good time, so what does that have to do? Like, what are you even talking about? The shit that you harp on, the shit you focus on, the shit you're literally fabricating on a daily basis, I don't care about. I don't. So I don't want to talk about it, you know? That's why I don't allow to talk about it anymore, you know? It's like, I'm in a good place. Just stay where I am. Have this business continue to be successful with big new games coming out like Street Fighter and stuff. Things are going to get better. And just focus on that. And just completely get all that white noise shit out of there. I don't care about what people say and do about me. You understand? I don't want to hear about it. I'm done with that shit. I'm so past it. I'm too old for that shit. Like, I know that's a meme from Lethal Weapon. I am too old for it. I don't care about these idiots anymore. You got to ask yourself a question. If someone's in their 40s and the only shit they're doing on the internet is putting out drama, what is going on there? Right? You're telling me that's all you can do with your life is put out drama? You're in your 40s. You're supposed to be an adult. You're supposed to be like, you know, serious business shit, but every day you act like you're a little kid. What's up with that? Anyway, more shout-outs. Let's see here. So Pizza Turtle tipped $1 and says, I think meaningful could be a nebulous descriptor because any content on meaningful can be meaningful to someone on YouTube. True. I guess what I should say is productive, non-destructive. That's what I should say. I mean, to me, that's meaningful. Meaningful content is content that is somehow productive and not destructive. You understand? But every day people just pump out destructive, non-productive content that brings down others, but they benefit from it. That's not me. You understand? So that's the difference. To me, meaningful content, if you're being productive, if you're not being destructive, and everyone's having a good time, that's good content. If you have to hurt someone or deride someone or get over someone to benefit, that's destructive content. And that's the kind of shit I'm not putting out. That's what I mean by meaningful content, to clarify. There's more. Wow, there's a lot of shout outs to do now. Got another tip here. Someone is trying to pry into my personal life. Basically, they tipped $1. Do you think detractors had something to do with your previous relationship ending? I mean, do I think detractors in general have to do with a lot of negative things in my life? Yes. Yes. Was there one direct thing? No. There wasn't like one detractor that caused a relationship to break. But it's just accumulation of factors getting worse and worse and worse, right? You know? That's the case. It's just things, when things are escalating, getting worse and worse and worse and worse, obviously things are going to break. Things are going to be tested and things are going to break. And that's what happened is you go into something with one mentality. This is our plan. This is what we want to do. Within a year, you can't do any of that anymore. It's all gone. The whole plan's shattered. So now what do we do, right? And, you know, you can only be there for a certain amount of time, and some people can survive that test. And you know, I did not. It is what it is. Now I'm in a much better relationship, right? So, let's see here. More shout out. By the way, Viking Hat is going to win. So I'll put on the Viking hat, but let's do a vest poll now, okay? Which vest is Zelda best? Oh, let's see here. We just wore the red. We haven't worn the blue at all. Did we wear the denim twice? We did, didn't we? We wore the gold. So let's do blue, denim, McFly, and beige. There you go. Oh my god. B-Boy Cyclone did a whopping $10 super chat. Thank you. I have many fond memories of Fallout 3 when the Pit DLC came out. It was massively buggy. I went online to see if anyone else had the issue. That's how I discovered you. Good times. Yeah, remember, I played it the moment it dropped on Xbox Live. I stayed up late that night, right? And I downloaded it. I was so excited for it because Fallout 3 was one of my most famous playthroughs at that time, and people were craving DLC content. I said, I'm going to play it the moment it comes out. I downloaded it. I go to play it. The whole thing was fucking fucked up. There were exclamation points on the screen. It was like, what the fuck is this? It was completely broken, so I couldn't play it. So I went to sleep, and the next day I tried to play it. They still hadn't patched it. It took them like 24 hours to patch it, and then it worked. But it was such a hilarious mess at launch. They released this broken version by accident. So thank you, B-Boy Cyclone. Let's get you up on the leaderboard now. Okay. Showtime. Re-up this membership for 3 months. It says, let's keep that chill train rolling. Thank you very much. Showtime. I got another tip. You guys are crazy today. A $5 tip from the Baxter Retirement Fund. We get a bad rap in chat. We're here to fully support all of DSP's ventures. Right. Now, you see these running memes over the years. First, there was the frogs meme. Then there was the Baby Man Gaming meme, right? And then wasn't there the Carl meme? You know what I mean? Like, there was all these different memes over the years. The thing is, when you get so many people who jump on a meme, now it loses its meaning, essentially. So originally, the meme was probably something negative, and then everyone jumps on it and makes it something different. And next thing you know, you got some people who are positive, some people who are negative. No one even knows. I have no idea what the meme even means. But thank you for a $5 tip, whoever that was. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this podcast is now going on a while, and I will end it with this again. All right, I have the ability to talk about whatever the hell I want on my show. I do. I have the ability to say and do whatever I want because it's all from my opinion, my perspective, right? Everyone else on the internet has a right to react to it as well. They can do that. I don't care. All right, I can share my honest thoughts with my audience. All I care about is what happens on this show with you. I don't care about any of the white noise bullshit of these idiots on the outside who are riding the coattails and just trying to get any kind of a toxic rise. Again, if you're someone who's in your 40s and it seems like the only content that anyone cares about that you put out is toxic shit that makes fun of other people, I think it's time to look in the mirror and reassess where you are. Perhaps you're a failure, and that's why it's the only reason people care about you is because you make fun of others, right? Just saying. And there's a lot of people out there like that today. On YouTube in particular, there's a ton of people who are like that, and I'm not going to be a part of that community. I'm here to have positive and fun content with you. And that's what I'm all about. That's what I mean when I say meaningful content, productive, not destructive. That's meaningful content to me. Content that I can put out and I can say, I didn't hurt anyone today. I didn't have a giant segment tearing someone down, making fun of someone, being a jerk to someone, hurting someone, so that people would laugh at them and then send me money. I didn't do that. Instead, I had fun, meaningful conversations about myself and my life with my audience. And guess what? We still had a great, successful stream. So it looks like it can work. You can actually be successful by being positive and not a toxic jerk. It's just that sadly, a lot of people on YouTube aren't willing to do the hard work to figure that out. They just want to bring others down because that's the easy way out. Well, I'm not that kind of person. You understand? I'm not going to be that kind of person. I never will be. I've definitely changed from my early days of YouTube where I didn't care what I said and did. I've done a total 180, and I'm going to be a positive and fun influence as long as I can for you guys, all right? I promise you that. I will do my best. I'm human. I'm going to make mistakes and flaws, but I'm going to do my best to, have a good time with all of you and give you meaningful content that I think is worth you watching, okay? Now, there very well be people who will literally react to what I just said. I don't care. I don't give a shit what they have to say, and you shouldn't either. If you like these streams and this content, all that white noise bullshit doesn't matter, because that's all it is. A bunch of little babies screaming at the wall to get more money from stupid people. Just ignore them. They don't matter to anyone, especially me. All right? That's all I have to say about that. And now we move forward positively. Thank you all. By the way, Mark just re-upped their membership for 4 months and says, great content. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Mark, for re-upping your membership here this morning. All right. That is it, my friends. Let's end the show and jump into Zelda. Let's end on a positive note. Here's the positive note. Every spring, I usually have really bad allergies. For some weird reason, that hasn't happened to me this year. I don't know if I'm lucking out or if I just put everything in place early enough. Like, I got the filters in my home changed early this year, and now we got the air conditioners pumping. So maybe it's just that the air is being filtered nicely. But I'm happy because I'm not dying of allergies like I usually am, and I should knock on wood. But I hope that all of you out there also are not being affected by allergies too badly, and if you are, I wish you the best. I know how bad it can be, being an allergy sufferer myself. But I wish you all a clean, allergy-free spring, and thank you for watching the Level 1 Podcast. See you next time.